Hello everyone, today I have a fun little video to share with you. I will be showing you how to achieve this makeup look, but today it's all about the brows. So I had a really great experience with Benefit and they showed me how to tint my brows, and I had never had my brows tinted before. So as many of you know, without eyebrow product, my brows are very thin, barely there. I have naturally sparse eyebrows and they don't grow back easily, so I like to keep my brows looking as immaculate as possible. But I have received requests from many of you to show you a different kind of brow look, something a little less ashy. So today, as you can see, there's a little bit more warmth to my eyebrows, but there's still that defined shape and a little bit of that arch that I like. So I'm going to show you how I achieved this look, and I will include the video footage that Benefit shot as well. So I was really lucky to be able to head over to a Benefit store and see all the new products for the brows in action, and I'm totally in love with Benefit Gimme Brow. I've talked about this on Twitter and Instagram a lot, and it is because this brow gel is definitely the best that I have used. And if you have thin, sparse brows like mine, this tutorial may be really helpful for you if you love Benefit and have had trouble with their brow products. But before we move into the tutorial, I did just want to mention we will be hosting a little giveaway. So for those of you who love brows and love Benefit, this is the perfect time to score some free products, and you can find out all the details about the giveaway at the very end of the video. But please do watch the tutorial if you are interested in seeing how I achieved this different brow look. So first things first, I'm going to talk to you about my complexion. I'm using the Oxygen Wow liquid foundation in I'm So Money Honey, and I really like this liquid foundation because it's really buildable, and I used my beauty blender to apply it, and I also used a little bit of the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Redness to tone down my acne scarring. So any redness that was visible beneath the foundation, I went ahead and patted it on top. And so now I'm going to use a little bit of Benefit's Boing Concealer in number 2, and I'm just going to apply it to a couple spots on my forehead that need a little extra concealing. I just apply some to my middle or ring finger, and then I go ahead and pat it onto the spots. And to set my concealer and make sure nothing moves, I'm going to use my Benefit Hello Flawless Powder in Me Vein Champagne using a large fluffy powder brush. Using a brush this large allows me to achieve sheer coverage instead of full coverage. And now that my complexion is complete, I'm going to start with the fun stuff, the eyebrows. I'm going to use my Tweezerman spoolie and just brush through the brow hairs to groom them and remove any powder excess. Now that my brows are clean, I'm just going to take a Tweezerman tweezer. This is the Benefit collab one, and it has a really cute seashell pink print. And I'm just going to remove a couple strays from the back of my brow. I get a lot of these strays randomly, never in the spots where I want the hairs to grow, obviously, always far below the actual eyebrow. Now the girls at Benefit took a more traditional route with my eyebrows, but as many of you know, I really like to keep my natural hair color, which is more of an ashy tone. So I developed this cool new method for using Benefit products for my eyebrows, and it's a slightly more arched natural look, but I'm hoping you guys will like it. So I'm going to start with the Instant Brow Pencil in Deep, and this is a very waxy pencil. So what I like to do is take my Siku eyebrow brush, and this is not available in the States, but you can find it at some online retailers. You want to use a really stiff angled eyebrow brush, and I'm just going to take the product from the pencil and just dab it onto the brush. And you want to be pretty generous with this. And then I'm going to take my brow powder in Light. And I don't use the wax in this because it is a little warmer for me. I like to use just the powder. And to temper down the waxiness of the pencil, I just dip the brush into the powder. And that helps it to apply more smoothly because this brow powder has a really great soft texture, but it's not very powdery. So it helps the brow pencil, this waxy one right here, to really smooth and blend well into sparse fine brows like mine. So I really like this combination at the moment. I think it's one of the best alternatives to my traditional Clé de Peau eyebrow pencil that I always wear. So now I'm going to get started and fill them in. So I like to start underneath the arch here, right at the bottom of the brow, just placing the color down underneath the arch, and now I'm going to push forward, which will give my brows more color. And basically I'm just blending and blending until I achieve a shape that I like. As you can see, the color is nice and soft, but it's not too warm. That's what I was afraid of with the light powder, but mixed in with the deep pencil, it is a perfect match, so I'm really loving it. This is round 2. And less is always more with powders, especially for eyebrows, because that way you can blend things out better. Just really pushing the color into the sparse spots of my brow. My brows are thin, sparse, barely there, so I really have to make sure the powder is evenly dispersed, or else my eyebrows look even patchier than they normally do. And now that I've filled in my brow relatively evenly with powder and the pencil, I'm going to use this Gimme Brow Volumizing Gel in Light to even out some of the sparse patches in the center of my brow. For some reason my hairs won't grow back there, so I've been using this volumizing gel to really fill in those gaps. This is probably the best eyebrow gel that I've ever used, and I really love how itty bitty this particular spoolie brush is. It's perfect for really thin eyebrows like mine, but even if you have thick brows and you have sparse spots, which I noticed tends to be a problem with those of you with even really full brows, then this is perfect. So I really love this color in Light. It works even for my ashy brows because it's not too warm. So I'm just going to brush up in the front, pulling the brows down a little bit towards this end. And then here, I'm actually going to use the tip of the spoolie and just drop the color there. Sort of dabbing it on. And then for the top of my brow, I'm just brushing it backwards, then brushing it forwards. And this backwards and forwards motion really helps to add volume to my eyebrows. So when I got to Benefit that day, I had tried this brow gel on before, but I didn't really know how to use it properly. So I didn't really see a difference the first time I tried it, but after seeing Ashley use it on me, and then when I got home, I started to play with it more, and wow, it does make a huge difference. So as you can see, I don't have so many big empty spots anymore. You can always go back with your pencil or your brush. I just like to make sure that there's no random brow hairs sticking out anywhere. But overall, I'm super happy with the Benefit Gimme Brow, and most of the time I wear it alone. I usually like to wear it on the weekends when I don't want to use a full-on brow like this, and especially because I don't wear makeup like this every day. I just like to leave my brows looking really simple, and so the Benefit Gimme Brow has been super helpful with that. I just brush it forwards like I showed, and then brush it back, then brush it a little forwards on the spots where my brows are really sparse, and it gives me a really full natural look. So now I'm going to do the finishing touches and show you the makeup that I was wearing in the video. I'm going to start with the highbrow in Glow. I've tried the highbrow in pink before, and I think that's what Ashley used in the video, but I actually really prefer this softer champagne glow, and it just is a lot more flattering on my yellow toned skin. So I'm just going to place it underneath the eyebrow. I love how it glimmers, and I'm just going to blend it out with a finger. Obviously you can use a brush. And now that my brows are complete, I'm just going to apply a little bit of a shimmery eyeshadow just to even out the surface of my lids. And if you're interested in any of the products shown in this video, I'll go ahead and link them down below in the description box as usual. Now I'm going to take a little bit of Benefit Hoola, and I'm just going to sweep it through the crease just to add a little bit more depth and definition to ground out that shimmery color. And now that the eye's done, I'm going to take a tapered face brush and I'm going to apply Hoola all over the face for an easy sculpted look, starting from the sides of the cheeks, up to the temples, down the sides of the nose, and of course below the chin. Now before moving backwards to finish up the eye look, I just wanted to apply a little bit of Benefit's new boxed powder called Rafflecopter, and I'm going to sweep this across my cheekbones. It does have that rose gold tone, but it is definitely a pink blush, and I love the way it glows. And I'm just using an angled blush brush to really blend that in. And now I'm going to finish off the look with the eyes. I'm going to use a black eyeliner just to wing out my eye. And I will be applying Benefit false lashes. I'm going to top my lashes with their Real. And while the mascara sets, I'm going to use this Sunshine Yellow eyeliner pencil on my lower lash line. And this yellow gold will make my eyes look wide open. Then I'm going to go ahead and top that with a little bit more They're Real. So I took the liberty and put one false eyelash on already, and these are some of my favorite new lashes. It is a double layered lash, so it is a little bit heavier, and these are called the Pin-Up. And I'm going to place it down in the center. Grab the back of the lash and set it down. Just make sure that your lash is sitting flush against your lash line all the way across the band. So that's the eye look complete, and I'm going to top off with the lips using a little bit of Benetint as a lipstick, and this is just going to give my lips a nice pink red flush. I love the way it smells, and I just pat this into the skin with my finger. And then I'm going to top it off with one of my favorite new glosses for this season called Kiss You. And that completes my recreated take on the lovely makeover that I received at Benefit. So thank you so much for watching and tuning in as usual. To reward you guys, I'm going to host a little giveaway with Benefit, and you'll be entering to win some of my favorite brow products that I used in this video. So for example, Gimme Brow, and a list of all the prizes will be listed down below. It's a complete brow package that I'm sure many of you will love. So definitely visit the description box down below or my blog, therayviewer.com, for more details on how you can enter. And again, all the prizes will be listed on my blog and down below in the description box as well. Best of luck with the giveaway, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye! I like to call that instant brownification.